Yo, Salaam nurse! Me, Neebs, aka Watch McNeebs. I'm here with my boy Jazz. What's up, Jazz?
What up, what up? Before we get into it, before we introduce our guests, I'd like to do a quick shout out to Halal Shirts for this.
Ooh, our sponsor.
786 shirt.
Look at that,
Yes,
786.
really love it. Thank you. Thank you, Halal Shirts.
Nice.
But
Love it.
now introduce our guest, Needs. Go ahead, go for it. I'll give you the honor.
Our guest is the TikTok creator who goes by the name Freddy's Roommate. He is one of my favorite creators. I started following him when he was talking about the Xmen and how they are not a allegory for Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, which, well, I was like, why? This is so obvious. Why did I not know this? So his name is Justin.
Whoa.
His name is Justin, and he is one of the most talented TikTokers that I know. And hopefully he'll have a job soon at Jenny's Ice Cream, because if they don't hire him, they don't know what they're missing.
No comment.
My mind is blown right now because I just made that connection.
No, it's not. It's not an allegory for that. It's actually... JJ, do you want to talk about this?
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the skinny, right? Everyone wants to be like, well, did you know that Professor X and Magneto were allegories from Martin Luther King and Malcolm X? And here's the thing. That is not true. That's not true. It's never been true. Here's what the thing is. If you look at original X-Men stories about what Magneto's goals were, what he wanted, it's taking over the human race. Last time I checked, Malcolm X didn't want to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
He created the
Correct.
Brotherhood of Evil Mutants with not even a person of color. Okay, that's weird. So, you're telling me Stan Lee, who
could
is
be appropriate.
very aware of the civil rights movement, who made Black Panther, right? Stan Lee made Black Panther, thought it was a good idea to make an allegory from Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and painting Malcolm X as the person who wanted to take over the world?
Right.
That's not accurate at all. So, where people get this comparison is from the 2000s. This is when the movie or the comparison really started coming about, because Bryan Singer, the director of the 2000 X-Men, started making that comparison. And Stan Lee, being the salesman that he is, was like, yes, this was always the intention, when that wasn't the case at all. Mind you, other writers did pick up on what it could be, like Chris Claremont and Len Wein and all those people, did turn Magneto into a kind of mirror to bounce off the X-Men, because he wasn't even contextually Jewish until much later.
Right.
So
that's
that
true.
doesn't make any sense. Oh yes, this person saw the horrors of this people. That wasn't the case in early X-Men stories. I'm not saying that these characters can't evolve, because evolving them is what makes them great. Magneto being Jewish is one of the coolest things ever. He's probably the most popular Jewish character ever made. So, when we come to this time, 2022, and people keep repeating this as if it's like nerd fact.
Yes.
It's not. And it's harmful.
It's not.
Because it paints Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in these really, really terrible lights. It paints Malcolm X as the violent one, and Martin Luther King as the agreeable one. Because Professor X never wanted what's the word? He didn't want equal rights for mutants. He wanted to teach about the moral minority. And that's apparent from the first X-Men stories. He wants to make the X-Men the prime example of what mutants could be. This new minority on the scene. He wants them to work for the government. He wants to save white people. And the first 5 X-Men are all 5 white teens from great white neighborhoods where you can slap them on a pamphlet. And when you take the breadth of comics, where we have to take everything, we can't just selectively take everything, that shows us more about who Professor X was as a person than any other stories about him comparing him to Martin Luther King. And last time I checked, Martin Luther King wasn't about the model minority. And Professor X wasn't doing any activism. You know what I mean? So, that's kind of my spiel about that.
No, this is good.
Right?
Like, it makes perfect sense.
When I first saw that TikTok, I was like, this is somebody I have to follow, because if I don't,
Yeah.
I'm going to remain.
Yo, everybody,
ignorant.
go follow Justin real quick.
Follow Justin. It's at Freddy's roommate, right?
Yes, at Freddy's roommate. I haven't
Yes.
talked about the X-Men in a minute because I love them so much. They're my
I
favorite
know.
comic book team at all. I don't.
No, this is great.
I love
This is
it.
the whole point of this nerd culture podcast.
I know.
is so we can learn about this stuff.
It's such a great idea, man. When you get to talk about these things in our podcast, it's pretty awesome. I love that, and like I always dislike the fact that like Malcolm X was painted that way, and I was like, I guess it's what everyone says. I guess it must be true, right? And it wasn't until I started talking, I'm like, yeah, you're right, man. What the hell? You know, but Malcolm X is one of our great heroes because, you know, one of the things that happened in the for the civil rights movement, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that, right? And also, he's a Muslim, so it's one of the things that like he definitely played a big part in not just for South Asians to come to this country, but for how Muslims are treated in this country, because they were the first Muslims in America. Were African Americans.
Yeah.
So, you know,
African Americans, yeah.
It's a big deal to us. And, you know, I'm so glad that, you know, someone's went out there and people are getting the record straight about this.
Because, I mean, let's be honest with you. Stan Lee wasn't the most woke person in the world. You know what I mean? Like, we thank him for giving us, like, Black Panther. Thank you, Stan Lee. But, like, he was raised in a very, very different time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I don't think as that was happening, I don't think he would have done something like that knowingly while Magneto was trying to take bombs to take over the human race. You know what I mean?
Right.
Both things can't be true, in my opinion, you know? So, well,
no,
this is why I'm super scared about them coming to the MCU. That's a whole different podcast.
I know. Speaking of which, it looks like the trailer came out for the Doctor Strange mom. Everyone calls it mom. Multiverse of Madness. And the big thing is Professor X is there. The Illuminati is there. It's pretty much everyone's like, it's confirmed.
Voice.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. So
No, it's Star Trek. It's gonna be Picard. It's Picard who's gonna come into the Multiverse of Madness. It's not gonna be Professor X. It's gonna be Captain Picard. Okay, I'm calling that right now.
I have been trying to avoid like all these leaks and stuff, but there's so many out there, and like I don't know what's gonna happen. The rumors are wild of like who's gonna show up here.
I think
it could be anybody.
It could be anybody, but Marvel has really painted themselves in a corner. Like right now, and like now it's the expectation. It wasn't like a fun thing to be like, oh, all the heroes are together. Now we have to get every hero ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and there's only so many levels that can go up before you're like calling the terrible Captain America show that happened, or like. Captain America show. He had a movie before he was famous where he had to ride a motorcycle and he was a painter and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
Are you really gonna call him up?
God, I forgot about that.
White Nick Fury played by David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff
in this movie. Like, come on. Like, you can only go so far, you know?
Yeah. It's
no.
but
go,
Jess.
I don't know if you were trying to avoid spoilers, right?
No. I mean, we don't know any spoilers. I mean, they're just rumors.
Okay, well, I mean, we do know for a fact that Sir Patrick Stewart is a voice, as the mystery voice in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, Marvel in the past has used mystery voice to hide a main character that way.
Sure.
So,
at the end of Eternals, they use it to introduce Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Right. So it's kind of there.
Yeah. No, I believe it. It's the big debate though right now, all over my entire freaking TikTok, is whether who's a bigger villain, Doctor Strange or Wanda, because Wanda has the line where she's like, "Oh, you do this and you're a hero, and I do it and I'm a villain." I honestly don't even know if she's talking about the stuff that they've done in the past. It might be something they do in the movie. Probably something that hasn't been done yet. I don't even know, but. It's been a big rage of a debate online, and I've kind of just stayed out of it. I don't get into those kind of debates. It's a little too much for me.
How about I drag you into the debate?
Drag you,
because like
drag
it makes sense.
Drag him in. Wait, what do you mean it makes sense?
Yeah, because like it makes sense. Like WandaVision, the whole show, she created this whole town, trapped a bunch of people there to be with the love of her life, right? Strange. And What If shattered all of reality, trying to be with his loved one, okay? And he still looked as a hero. Well, Wanda is looked as a bad person. Like, I don't think it was that way, but like,
here's my thing, right? Like,
it's even worse.
I don't understand the argument, because there's three ways to look at it. Number one, is he a hero to us, the audience? Is he the hero to, like, in a philosophical sense? Or is he the hero to the people in that world, right? Because that world, they don't know what actually happened. In fact, Druid from the Eternal brainwashed like an entire freaking village for 20 years or 20,000 years, who knows how long, right? But nobody knows who Druid is, so he's not in the conversation. So it's weird, because like, what is the question? I don't understand it, because like, I feel like people are...
I guess we don't know the question.
Right? If you don't know the question, you can't give a real answer. And I feel like everyone's talking in circles. It doesn't make sense to me.
What a politically correct answer. Thanks.
For needs. Yeah. Well,
fair.
No.
We're just done.
Yeah. Well, luckily they're in Disney now. And speaking of Disney, have you guys seen the new Rescue Rangers trailer? What do you guys think of that?
Yes. Yeah. Bruh.
Dude, that looks
This is
so
like
good.
Nostalgia for me. I'm like, let's go.
Dude, when I saw that, like, I didn't know what they were gonna do with it, but then like, I'm like, this is a very strange take, but I'm here for it. It's basically Chippendale Rescue Rangers, but they were actors, and now they're like washed up actors, a lot older, and they're in this Roger Rabbit type-esque kind of situation.
Yeah, it's like 3D and 2D at the same time.
So
Yeah, it's
wild,
cool.
and I love it. I have one complaint about it, but I want you guys to get your opinions, and then I'll share my one complaint.
What's your one complaint? You can't just say I have one complaint.
I want to hear what you guys want. I don't want to skew what you guys feel about this.
Bro, I am approaching this movie as just pure fun from a nostalgia standpoint, okay? I'm not going to approach this as a critical movie. I'm not going to approach this as a Disney or a, like an action movie. No, I'm going to approach this as I'm going to watch this movie because I am bored on a Saturday night. Because, I have nothing else going on in my life, right? So this is just going to be one of those movies where it'll be cool to watch once, maybe twice, and that's it. It's nostalgia. It's gonna sell toys. It's gonna be fun. That's how I'm approaching.
For sure.
That's it.
I have a couple thoughts. Number one is, okay, this looks funny as hell. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, Disney's really commenting on a problem that they kind of created. But whatever, it's fine. It's cool. I guess. You know what I mean? Like the main culprits of reboot culture. Disney is making fun of reboot culture. I wonder who could solve that, Disney.
Just take my money. Just take my money.
Said, I think it's a little unique, but not as unique as they think it is. You know what I mean?
It's not unique.
Yeah,
it's BoJack Horseman.
It's been done before, but not with Rescue Rangers. Was I expecting?
Right. I mean, but like, think
was I
about it.
expecting cheese to be a metaphor for drugs in the trailer? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? Like
that Monterey
exactly.
Jack.
Like, really, you're gonna go there? But it's Disney. They're not really going to go there. They're not.
That
Let's
Gouda
be honest.
stuff.
I did like how I can tell the chipmunks apart now. One's in CG and one's in 2D.
Yes.
I like it.
That's so funny. I got the CGI surgery. I thought that was
pretty clever. But like, I don't think they're going to go as far, not far, but like cutting as I want them to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Surprisingly, they got Roger Rabbit back and the cat from the Paula Abdul music video.
Yes,
I was like, really?
I saw that.
Okay, so you got some money. Okay.
Yeah, they did spend some money on this. I was surprised. So the one thing that I don't like, John Mulaney, his voice takes me out. It takes me out. It's so recognizable.
Fair. I hate his voice.
Like I think of like a Big Head or whatever that show is, or like his voice just takes me out.
Big Mouth.
Yeah, Big Mouth. And like it definitely, like, I can literally see a man in a voice studio saying those lines whenever I hear his voice. And that's the only complaint I have about it. And I'd rather they just get, like, people whose voice sounded like chipmunks. Right? Like, or no-name voice actors.
You know it's pitched
probably...
up, right, Neebs?
Yeah.
Still, but here's what Neebs means by that. Like, John Mulaney's voice, every time he says a syllable, it's like inflected upwards at the end. And it's such a noticeable pattern that only he does it. And so I can see why he's upset by this. Because you can get any other normal, like literally any other normal voice actor to do this part and be fine.
It takes me out a little bit of it. It'll still be a good movie, but I'm literally going to have a hard time not seeing his face every time I hear that voice.
But Andy Samberg puts butts in seats.
No, I get that, man.
John Mulaney puts butts in seats. Come on.
That's true. I mean, that opens up the conversation about, like, should these cartoons and stuff have famous people doing voice acting when they can get, like, the original voice actors, or they can get people who are better at voice acting? But they got to get butts in seats, man, and that's how they do it. These big names.
Do people actually go to the movies to hear someone's voice like that?
I personally don't. I've never went.
I don't either. I don't actually remember saying, "Oh, his voice is in here. I'm going to watch it."
This is what studios believe, and you know what it is? I think it's because these people go on talk shows, right? They're like Chris Pratt will go on a bunch of talk shows and talk about doing a voice of Mario, and no one who is like the original voice of Mario is not going to go on Jimmy Kimmel or any of these shows, right? So I think that's why.
Well, we need a new class of voice actor and have them go on shows and do what they do best, which is voice act.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what a concept, you know? Like, I hate movie theaters, man, or movie companies.
Yeah.
This is dumb.
I'm not a fan of that, but other than that, man, it looks a lot of fun. It looks cool. It's like the end game of, like, all these, like, characters where they all get to be together. What is it with, like, all these universes connecting? They got the Spider-Man universe connecting. We got, like, Rescue Rangers. We got Blue's Clues. Everywhere you look, people are connecting.
I think that's the next step.
Everywhere.
Speaking of Blue's Clues, you said the magic word there, because we haven't talked about Blue's Clues yet. Have y'all seen the rumors of a Blue's Clues crossover with all three cars?
Yeah.
Yes.
They released a picture?
Yeah, they released a picture. They released a picture today.
Oh my god. So it's confirmed that Blue's Clues is getting a No Way Home treatment for a movie.
Yes.
Okay, alright, I'm down. Is it gonna be theaters or like
Plus.
is it like direct DVD or something?
Paramount Plus.
Yes. The modern direct DVD.
Yeah.
This gets streamed directly.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture now, and not gonna lie,
God.
I didn't think Steve was that short. He's very short.
He's tiny.
Short King, man. Shout out to Short King.
I'm a little surprised. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Brought my man out of retirement, man. Like, one more time. Like, you know those old school movies where, like, they go to the guy and be like, "We need you." He's like, "All right, man. One last time."
Hey, Tobey Maguire said the same thing. You know what I mean?
That's true. Dude, there's rumors.
Tobey Maguire signed on before he was.
Have you heard the rumors of Tobey Maguire possibly being in the new Morbius movie? There's, like, rumors that, like, they've
Are you talking about Tobey or
film
Andrew?
and my opinion. No, Tobey. They said Tobey Maguire may be in the Morbius movie.
I heard that they did do reshoots just to accommodate the two old Spider-Man.
I don't know about Andrew, but I did hear about Tobey, so...
No. Andrew is in something
Here's
too
the
now.
thing.
Wow.
This Morbius movie makes no sense. Zero sense. Because here's the thing.
No, it makes no sense.
You have him talking to Michael Keaton, the Vulture. Okay, so he's in the MCU, right? Oh, that makes sense. Oh, wait. But then you look at the Daily Bugle, which is in Venom, and is also in Tobey's world. That's weird. Oh, wait, there's a picture of Spider-Man in the trailer? Oh, wait, it's from the PS4 game? That's weird. Like, and then Morbius himself says, "I'm Venom." So what universe are you in, Morbius?
It's so wild. Like, I don't know what's going on, and I feel like that's their draw. That's the only
crazy
reason someone is going to go watch the movie. I don't think anybody cares about Morbius. They just want to know what the hell is going on, what universe they're in, and if any of the characters are in here. I think that's it. I think that's the only draw
I gotta be honest
for people to go watch this
I don't want to see Toby again.
Just take my money.
I grew up
Disney,
on
just
Toby,
take my
but
money.
his story is finished. It's come full circle. He is my favorite Spider-Man.
Yes.
So he can go out the pasture now. You know what I mean? Like, everything you need to say with Toby, you said with Toby. But with Andrew, his legacy is the incomplete Spider-Man.
Yes.
Everyone will be begging for more until we get a third Spider-Man movie from him, which is never going to happen. The only way I can see fixing it is plopping him in the Venomverse, because Venom currently doesn't have a Spider-Man. So
yeah. JJ, one of the cool things that you're doing this month, do you want to talk about the Black History Movie Month? And we need to get more views for those, because those are awesome.
Yeah, we do.
We need to get...
I'll be very honest. I don't know much about like Black History movies, like the ones that aren't pushed, like the ones that weren't introduced to me like in high school or something, right? I don't know much about them. So please enlighten us, because I just feel ignorant right now.
I watched the majority of them. I was happy. I was actually proud of myself. I was like, all right, I watched the majority of them, which I was super happy about.
Let's go. List time. Make a list.
So,
Number one.
The goal of the series is to stay away from the stuff that you had to watch on the big monitor on the screen. You know what I mean? I only have one of those, and that's The Color of Friendship. You know what I mean? Like, I am sick and tired of slave movies. There is not going to be a slave movie on this list. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see black suffering on this list at all. You know what I mean? Because that has been beaten, pun intended, beaten to death. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, I am over it. Like, I want to see us in the full breath of who we can be as black people. So there's films like Dear White People, which is all about the collegiate experience or navigating white spaces. There's Set It Off, which is about 4 black women who rob a bank. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to be the best people in the world, but like, we can be action stars. You know what I mean? We can be...
There are more stories out there, right?
Like, we could be cowboys. The Harder They Fall is on this list. Hitch is on this list. You know what I mean? Like,
Drumline.
We could be...
Hitch was a cool movie.
Drumline is on this list. Like,
Drumline was an awesome movie.
I know, right? Like, you don't think about those things when it comes to black movies. They always show, like, 12 Years a Slave and The Color Purple. You know what I mean?
You know what's
like,
funny?
I'm done.
You know what's funny? I didn't notice that they actually do the same thing to us. It's the reason why Slumdog Millionaire gets all these awards. It's the same reason why Lion gets all these awards. Like, they want us to be seen that way. And I'm just like, until black people started coming out and saying, hey, they're just trying to make money off our trauma. They're trying to make money off our suffering. And I was just like, wait a second. They're doing that same thing to us. And I was like, they've been doing it a lot longer than you guys. So, like, luckily, like, the black community, again, comes to help us and
the brown community's
rescue the brown community,
just like the civil rights movement.
Right? Exactly, right? So it's one of those things where, like, you guys have gone through it, and it helps us learn and understand what's happening to us a lot faster and a lot better, so we don't have to suffer. But, like, they're doing the same thing to us, and I didn't notice it until you started talking about it. So it's very interesting, and I really appreciate you for that.
So give us your list, man. Give us just start listing them off.
All right. Where did I start? Okay.
You started with Set It Off.
Okay, so we have Drumline.
Yep, Set It Off. And then I did, Set It Off.
Dear White People.
And then, yes, Dear White People. I did, what else? The Harder They Fall. I did
Ray.
Boys in the Hood. Ray.
Yes.
Yep. I did, what else? Us. I did The Color of Friendship. I did Creed. I did Hitch.
Creed.
Zola. Oh my gosh, you guys gotta see Zola.
So that's one of the ones that I haven't seen, and you said don't look it up. You said go into it blind.
Oh my gosh.
You said go into it blind, so I'm gonna go into it blind.
Like, you will not be disappointed.
Salaam Nerds Watch Party.
Let's do it.
We could get like a bunch of brown people on like Zoom or something to stream the movie.
It is
as illegal as that is.
So incredible because, like, okay, you gotta go in blind because you're like, wait, that happened? Wait, that happened? That happened? Like, it just keeps snowballing into this beautiful, beautiful mess of a movie. It's a mess. It's messy, but it's hilarious. But it's not exactly a comedy. I can't explain it.
How do you spell it? It's Zola.
Yes, Zola. It's a movie based on a Twitter thread. You will not be disappointed. I promise you.
Okay,
that's crazy. They made a movie based on a Twitter thread. That's hilarious to me.
It's the most popular Twitter thread of all time. Did you read the Twitter thread?
No, because you told me to go into it blind.
No, we're going in blinds.
Okay, fair enough. Don't read it until afterwards, and you're like, wait, they put that in the movie. Oh my god, they put that in the movie. It's like crazy. I love Zola so much. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you for sharing that, and I appreciate you being on the show, man. This has been awesome. Guys, if you don't already, please follow Freddy's Roommate on TikTok, and it's the same on Instagram, right?
Yes, I am. Can be found wherever toys are sold. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Freddy's Roommate.
All right. Thank you for being with us, man. That's enough for our episode. We'll see you guys next week, man. And till then, Salaam, nerds.
Salaam, nerds. Nerds.